everyone, Jess here at Aviation Festival Asia. Today I'm joined with Peter Smith, VP of Strategic Partnerships Travel at Cover Genius. Thank you for joining me.
You're welcome, lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you as well. So firstly, based on what you've seen at Cover Genius, what major changes has the industry undergone since the pandemic, and how do you think these effects have altered the industry for the long term?
Gosh, that's a big question when we think about COVID. So I can talk on behalf of customers or travellers, I guess, because we put out a survey where we surveyed 16,000 people globally. From that, we delivered a report. So I can speak with real insights. What I can say is that during the pandemic, of course, people couldn't travel. People had to cancel flights. People were away and got sick and needed to be protected by their insurance. And what we actually found when we surveyed was that about 20% of people that actually purchased protection to cover them in the event that they had to cancel or they were sick or something, when it comes to making a claim, they actually were not protected by the policy they purchased specifically for that reason. So what we found was that the traditional insurers really let customers down. So, being able to provide very relevant products that really give customers the protection they need is super important. And we found therefore that travel insurance, travel protection throughout the period, and the attach rate or the conversion rate of that has grown significantly. So much so that if you look at the value of the marketplace globally for travel insurance, in 2021 it was around $14 billion. By 2031, so fast forward 10 years, that's expected to be $125 billion. So, protection is more important than ever before.
Absolutely. I guess people got a real taste for what it could be to lose that protection.
Exactly.
So what could be done to improve customer trust in the industry?
So I guess, look, customers, they want to purchase protection from the brands they trust the most. So for example, if you're an airline, they trust you as their life. You're flying them at 40,000 feet across the ocean. So they're going to trust that actually if you offer them a product, whatever that product might be, that it's the right product for them. So when that comes back to protection, for example, if you're embedding travel insurance within your flight booking path, for example, your customer's going to trust that that's the right product for them. 45% of consumers put convenience as one of their biggest motivators when it comes to purchasing protection.
Absolutely, I can imagine, because especially with the pandemic, everyone got used to having everything at the tips of their fingers because you couldn't actually go out, so everything was online and people want it to be as easy as possible. And traditionally, I guess, even booking airline tickets has been sort of even more difficult than it is in other services, so people are trying to get that across the board, that sort of convenience.
Yeah, completely. And I think another really important thing within, particularly if we're referring to insurance, is the whole claims experience. So when a consumer buys any type of insurance or warranty, that's the easy part, right? Yeah. You can sell them a product. But actually where it matters most is when they're in their time of need. So when they're overseas and they're sick, for example, or when they have to cancel their flights, you need to ensure they're getting the right protection, and that claims experience is really slick. In the same survey I spoke about, we asked customers about that claims experience generally in the last 12 months. And you might be astounded to hear that when we asked them to rate the claims experience on a Net Promoter Score scale, it came out at -20, which is terrible. And it was taking at least a minimum of 14 days to complete their claim. So if we talk about trust, all that's going to do is that's going to, I guess that's just going to lead to customers having a really negative sentiment towards travel insurers, for example. So being able to have a truly customer-centric solution that's there when it matters most to customers, being able to pay claims in under 3 days, things like that are going to push your Net Promoter Score up to maybe 65, which is what Cover Genius is.
Wonderful, thank you. So how do you best tailor product and price to the customer's specific needs?
So again, you really need to use technology. So using AI and NLP to analyse data in real time. So understanding when a customer's purchasing a flight or a holiday or a trip, exactly what it is they're purchasing, then offering them super relevant products that are priced at a point which they're happy to pay. And if you do that, you're delivering on the convenience piece, and you're going to ensure that they're adequately covered and you're there when they need it most.
Fantastic. So looking forward now, could you identify some future trends for travel protection?
Yes. So throughout COVID, flight cancellations were at an all-time high. Of course they were. They spiked considerably. Also, if you think there was a big airline recently in the US that many people will have heard of, suffered a huge operational loss because their tech didn't allow them to track bags correctly, was one part of it. So customers had huge problems with lost luggage. So I think looking forward in future, when you look at scenarios like this, we're going to offer the right protection to customers, but also being able to do things like parametric insurance. So, if their bag goes missing, being able to trace that and find it quickly for them, for example, or if they have a flight delay, being able to parametrically track that flight on behalf of the customer, tell the customer when there's, say, a 2-hour delay, and have automatic claims. So they paid out instantly. So they get a text saying, hey, we can see your flight's delayed. Click here now, and we pay them, $50. So they can go to the bar or grab a spot of lunch in the airport, and all of a sudden what would be a poor experience is transformed into something a lot better. So I think having been able to innovate, use technology to deliver really relevant products is part of the future of insurance.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thank you.